Hi, welcome to another episode of Life Changers, and this is Mike. So today in studio, I have one of my buddies that I have with me all the time when I started learning about the law of attraction, and he was actually there when I started going to the casino. We'd like to welcome to the studio John. Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going good, Mike. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for coming. Oh, thanks to everybody in the audience. Yes, live audience today. But he was with me when I started with the law of attraction at the casinos. We were going to some casinos together, just like slot machine casinos to start. And I remember one instance we were going, and I think this might have been the first time you came with me to the casino, and I was explaining to you how I'm going to make money at the casino, and you're like, okay, yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you're just like, probably thinking, this guy's nuts. Why am I hanging out with this guy named Mike? But then what happened when we're at the casino? Like, we're playing some machines, and then I was just fooling around. We're hanging out and talking, and I was explaining how, like, I learned that you can't, like, want to win, but you kind of got to, like, encourage everybody to win around us. And remember how happy, lucky, I don't know, it was many years ago now, like, what, 8 years, 6 years? Something. But anyways, I started hitting the slot machine and stuff like that, and then we're getting jackpots, and then you're like, huh. And what were you thinking at that time when I started winning? What were you like? Were you like, oh, maybe what he's talking about is true? Or were you thinking he just has a horseshoe shoved up his butt?
I thought you had a horseshoe up your butt.
Right, and that's where the legend came from. When I was like, it's true. I got kicked in the butt by a horse, and we never found a shoe. I mentioned that on my podcast a few times.
Have you?
Yeah. So, like, the reason why I brought you into the studio today is because we're hanging out, and it's a weekend, but I thought it'd be fun. But also to be, like, stating, because we're pretty close friends. You come to my house, well, I used to come more often, but now that I moved almost 3 hours away from you, it's not as often. But I used to come to my house a lot, and I'd be talking about all this law of attraction stuff, and you'd just be like, yep, this guy's going nuts again. But it's what I explain to people is it doesn't matter what I say, because I have people in my life, family, best friends, where I'm like, check this out, this is how it works. And do you think I'm poo-poo head crazy?
Some days, yes. Other days, not so much. You're pretty open-minded.
See, I'm open to listen to everybody's point of view. But another reason why I brought you into the studio is because there's some new information I want to put in your head.
Oh, no.
And have you make fun of me like all my friends do.
I don't make fun of you. Come on now.
But here's a question that everybody's asking. I've actually received a few emails on this before and comments in the comment sections. Is if some people say, I don't believe you that you can do all this stuff, and still people don't believe me. So what would you like to tell those people that you've seen me put $100 in a machine and turn it into $3,500? Yes. And then you see me when we're playing the tables. Remember how it says, like, look, if I don't care about winning, and I put money down for tip the girl, like to pay for the dealer, that if I win, they win. And I'm like, I don't care if I win. I'm going to play blind. And we started winning. And then you played with your money. I think you brought $100 or something, burned through it. Then I gave you some chips and said, look, man, watch you win because you don't care. Because you're not trying to win. You don't care if you win. I said, you don't care. I don't care if you win or lose with my money. I'm already making money. Remember? Yep. Then you started winning. And you're like, how come I can't do that with my money?
Because you're overthinking.
Exactly. You're trying too hard, right? But what would you tell people that you see me do all this stuff? Some people call it miracles or luck or whatever. But how do you see all this and still look at me going, that's his thing, whatever, I'm living my own life? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I just want to know. And my listeners want to know. Dun, dun, dun. We did not prep for this, by the way. I'm putting him on the spot. So if he does not want to answer, I don't force people to answer any questions they don't want. But, you know, everybody has their own reality, their own truth, right? So my truth is I could turn a thought into reality. And I'm going to try to convince you today that you could turn a thought into reality based on yesterday's or last podcast that people probably listened to. I recorded it yesterday. It's going to be on air tomorrow. But the week after that, this one will be on air. But if you want to answer the question, how can you, like the word is that some people use is, how could he not be a believer if he's seen you do all this stuff? So I don't believe you, Mike. I'm like, okay. Because everybody says, I'll believe if I see. And I tell people, it doesn't matter if you see, you still won't believe if you can't comprehend or figure out. Like, you got to change your belief system, like what you were raised, right? We were raised to think casino is the house always wins and we always lose as people. That's the point, right? But my motto is everybody can win if they want to.
If you put your mind to it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just putting your mind to it. It's putting your ego aside, trying not to chase it. Because like I mentioned in my podcast, what happens if you're being chased? You're running away. You don't know why the hell the cop's chasing. If somebody starts running after you, you're going to be like, what the hell? Start running. Who's this guy running at me, boy? Right? So when we're chasing money, I find like, and you try, you don't get it. But if you don't try, is it just a hard concept to not try? Or is it just like, yeah, it's easy to say, but hard to do?
It's definitely easy to say and hard to do. I've seen you do it, but it's still, from my perspective, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work for you, eh? So maybe I just got a horseshoe at my butt.
I just don't have a horseshoe up my butt, that's all.
But what if I told you you can? And what if I told you by the simple methods I'm going to talk to you about and try to convince you, if you get convinced, then you can do what I do, and if not, bigger and better and more. It's up to you. So here's one thing. I talked about this book I was reading yesterday called The Science of Getting Rich. Okay? Or The Science of Being Rich, something like that. I talked on the last podcast, but I should pull it up here. Dun, dun, dun. Bear with me. You could just talk if you want, sir.
What am I going to talk about? I don't know nothing.
Take over. Hi, this is another episode of John's podcast. This is John.
I'm just learning everything. Don't laugh at me.
No, I've been trying to teach this guy to be a believer
for 8 years, and I still don't believe.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but
so it's The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace B. Walters. It's the book I'm talking about. So this book was written in 1910. Okay.
Way before our time.
Yeah, so over 100 years ago. Probably 114 years to be exact. Oh, I'm good at math, aren't I? Anyways.
I'm not saying a word.
And he simplifies it and says he can guarantee you to be rich and successful if you follow his 3 steps. Isn't that crazy?
What are his 3 steps there, Mike?
Well,
tell me.
It's not scripted. He's not reading nothing. He's just being he's just making fun of me, as you can tell by his voice. Please tell me, Mikey. Teach me the way, because when I walk out this door, I'm going to be like, this guy's nuts. Hey, man, I promised him pizza and wings after this, so that's why he's here. Okay, first thing is, I'm going to get you to say yes to something right now. Do you agree with this comment that everything in this world, in our reality, started as a thought? So meaning, I thought about building this phone. Then I put it on paper, brought it into reality. You thought about coming to visit me. Then it became a reality. We thought about coming to do the podcast studio, and now we're here in the podcast studio. So now it's reality, right? You think about the pizza and wings we're going to order and what kind of toppings you want. So it's not real, right? It's really not real right now. You're thinking about the pizza and wings, but we're going to make it real. So first off, do you believe that saying, that everything in this world started as a thought?
Yes.
Every action you make starts as a thought.
Yep.
So you're taking the conscious action to be like, yeah, I'm sitting in the studio talking with Mike. So I got my pizza and wings that he's going to manifest by going to the store and buying it. But it sounds simple, right? I literally said, hey, you want pizza and wings? And you're like, yeah, let's do some pizza and wings. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's not real. Now I'm going to manifest it by going to the store and buying it. Easy as that, right? But you could go to people that don't understand the concept of just walking into a building, coming out with food. Go to a place where it's like a tribe or something, where they sitting in their own world and they don't have contact with us and all that, and go tell them I can make a big pizza right now, and you just walk in the building, walk up, poof, pizza. They won't understand, right? But in our reality, we're like, yeah, we accept it, right? So that's a yes. That's a yes. We got a yes. We got our yes.
Yes.
So now, as I have written here, how hard is it for me? I wrote down my thing, what I want. It's mine. $2.5 million. And I wrote, in grace and happiness and love and harmony, I deserve it. So I'm manifesting that I'm going to make $2.5 million profit in my pocket so I can do what I need to do with it from my dream home, forever home, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So now it's a thought. So now I need to make an action, right? Start taking action. So now I'm dreaming about it. I'm figuring out what I can do, stuff like that. And then when the universe starts pushing me in the right direction and I see the opportunity, I'm going to go, oh, like I already know where to buy pizza. I've been doing that since I was a teenager, right? Since I was a kid with my dad. Let's go get pizza. But now I need to find out how to make $2.5 million, and the universe is going to guide me in that way. So it's a thought. I'm pushing it into my mind as reality. Now it's going to be an action. Therefore, I'm going to have it in my bank account in reality. So there's no difference in me saying, John, let's go to the casino after this, and I'm going to put $100 in the machine, and I'm going to walk out with more money than I've put in, whatever the universe deems I deserve that day. I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to leave it to the universal guidance. But my thought is I'm going to leave with more money. So when I walk into that casino, I'm a winner and I'm not a loser, because there is no losers in my reality. There's only winners. There's only profit. I don't believe in lack. I believe in abundance. Lots of money everywhere. Everybody can have money. So is that different than me manifesting the pizza for us later?
Yeah.
So tell me why it's different.
Well, for starters, I've seen you do it.
Do what? The pizza or the casino?
Oh, the casino.
Okay.
I've seen you put $100 in, and we've walked out with $1,000.
Yep. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever lost when you were there, eh?
No, I always lost. You never did.
See, when I make enough money, this poor feller named John I'm going to see this. How much money do you make in a year? You don't have to answer that. I'm going to ask him, though. And I'm going to say, I'm going to pay you that. And all you have to do is hang out with me while I make money. Because he's like my good luck charm. Because I want to prove to him so much. I want to prove to everybody so much how amazing it is to be in the positive mindset, to be in I deserve mindset and stuff like that. And make your own miracles. It seems like it's miracles. Does it feel like a miracle to you every time we go in and I walk out with money?
Maybe for you, not so much for me.
I feel bad for you. But sometimes I give you money. And I'm like, here, just to break you even, because I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm a good boy.
You're a good man.
Good boy. I'm a good boy. Thank you, Paul.
Who let Paul in here?
I don't know. Paul, get out. Who let you in the studio? But no. Yeah. Like, it's easy, right? For me, it seems easy. Does it seem easy from your point of view?
Seems easy, yes.
So, like, what do you think you're doing wrong based on all the conversations you have with me?
What I'm doing wrong is overthinking.
Yeah. And
I care too much.
You care about the $100? Have you not just, like, taken $100 and, like, just give it to a homeless person just to burn it and be like, whatever? I don't care.
No, not that I know of.
So I wonder why, if it's easier for me to believe this stuff because of one thing. Because I grew up in religion. And in the religion I grew up, I don't know if you grew up around religion.
I grew up, I grew up around Christians.
Yeah, like, but like you weren't going to church, your parents didn't have you go get all that baptized and stuff. No. So I grew up in a Christian religion. People say it's very strict. Well, now I realize it's pretty strict, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say the religion because who cares? But they teach you that, like, if you have faith, right, you shall receive. But if your faith is lacking, you will not receive. And I'm not bashing Christianity or anything. If you're a Christian listening to this, by all means, like, you're doing your thing, you're doing your reality. And like, I've been in my religion growing up. I was even the minister for 4 years and stuff like that. But it's just, I moved to where I feel like I need to go. And I don't, not hang out with the people from my old life in the church and stuff. They're all good people. Everybody in religion, do your thing. Like, God bless you all. Like, you're doing your thing. Like, I want everybody to live their truth and their reality. Just for me, I'm going a different route that I'm experimenting with and all that. And it doesn't matter, right? But I don't bash religion in any way. I just want people to know that. That it's not for me, where the church I grew up in and stuff like that and whatnot. But anyways, but it's law of attraction 101. So I remember, like, growing up, they say, like, you got to pay tithing, right? 10% of your income. And everybody would say, like, if you pay willingly, you'd be blessed tenfold, right? And I used to think, like, oh, well, then I started giving, like, well, I'm going to give you the 10%, and then you're going to give me 10 times more. I'm like, right, let's go. Stuff like that. Then I wasn't getting it. And then I started learning, like, oh, well, people were saying, no, you got to give willingly and not expecting, and then you'll be blessed and stuff. And I've seen miracles. I've seen people, by their faith, be healed of sicknesses. I've seen miracles in every religion that I've seen and grew up around, because I grew up around, my grandparents were Catholic, so Catholic religion. My parents converted to another religion after Catholicism, and then we grew up in that, and then, well, I moved on. But anyways, growing up in Montreal, Quebec, there's a church there where people can walk up these stairs. I mentioned a few times in my podcast. And people truly believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if they walk up those steps, or crawl up because they can't walk, or walk up without being guided by feeling the Spirit and going up into that up to the church and go to the certain room and stuff like that, that God will heal them of blindness, of not being able to walk, like needed crutches or wheelchairs. People with all sorts of conditions went up there. And if you go up there to this day, you'll see like crutches, wheelchairs, eye patches, walking sticks. Blind people were healed and all that. And it's all by their faith, right? And like for a while when I heard faith, I'm like, oh, religion words, right? But it's not a religion word. It's just I grew up with it in my religion, and a lot of people have in our Christianity, I guess, country we live in Canada. That's now like, every religion's here, and it's cool. Like I've been to a lot of different churches and venues with friends and stuff, and it's really cool. Good vibes. But on my own path, and I encourage you, everybody, to find their own path. Like what I'm saying, what I'm doing, might not be right for you, but you got to find what makes it right for you, how you can use the law of attraction. So when I talk to you, John, I'm saying, I'm just explaining things to you. When I'm explaining everything I'm learning, is I want you to understand the base of it and find a way that fits your lifestyle, your belief system, and your reality. Because my reality is totally different. Like we could be in the same room, we're in the same podcast, we're hanging out, but you see the world differently than the way I see the world. Like sometimes I'm driving with people or with my wife, and I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful. Look at all that. It's amazing, right? And some people are just like, you all right, Mike? I'm like, no, I'm all right. I've not been drinking or nothing.
He's lying. He has been drinking.
Not today. It's too early. Yesterday. But you know what I mean? Like, I just love life, and I don't have stress like I used to about money, about this, about whatever. So, back to the topic at hand. So you agree with step one?
Yes.
That everything starts with a thought and becomes reality.
Yes, I do.
So there's no difference how I started my transportation company. It was a thought. I talked about it. Everybody's like, okay, you're nuts. And then I made it a reality, and now look at where we are. Yep. In my warehouse in the studio, talking microphones with our live studio audience. Thank you. That's how big the warehouse is. Just me and him and a teddy bear. I got the A&W teddy bear on my desk. This is unedited, uncut. This raw material just gets the music put on in the beginning and the end and gets thrown on the podcast. I feel sorry for my listeners. But this is what I call real talk with Mike and John. Okay, so step 1 is good.
Yes.
So here's another story from the same guy in 1910, how he started talking about this with all his buddies and people. And I know I've already mentioned it, but this guy was like, well, you make it sound so simple. And then he said, give him a challenge. So I give you a challenge to all my listeners and to my buddy John. And maybe we'll follow up with him next time he comes into town. Sorry. So look around, think about what you want. And then you're going to think about it and put it in your reality. So if it's, you already got a brand new truck coming, so that'll be easy. It worked, Mike. But put in your mind what you want. So the story goes with this individual is really poor. He says he's poor. I know I'm repeating some things I talked about yesterday, but it's more funner when there's somebody else in the studio staring at me with his eyes glazed over of boredom.
I'm not bored. Come on now.
So this poor guy working paycheck to paycheck had nothing. So he took the challenge and went home and looked at a rug. He says, I want a new rug. I want a nice looking rug, and visualized and put it into his mind what he wanted. And then how do you think he manifested it? Did it just come out of thin air? Did he steal it?
He went out and did it.
But he has no money. He's living paycheck to paycheck, barely paying rent and food. So he visualized what he wanted, and then something happened where he was able to pick up extra shifts at work, overtime. And then he got his rug. And then after that, overtime stopped. The company's like, no more overtime. And it was like, perfect. He just made enough in overtime to pay for the rug, and then it was over. So why don't you find something that you want and think about it? You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to whatever you want. But you can't chase it. Just put it in your reality. And then when the opportunities come, it's up to you. So this guy in the book says it's up to you to put in the work. So this individual had a miracle happen where out of the blue, where there was no overtime foreseen, had overtime for a couple of days or a couple of weekends, and he had enough overtime to buy exactly what he wanted. Then the overtime was over. So it's a miracle. I don't care what way you put it. The same guy was like, well, if that works, he started going through his whole house. And within 6 months, he owned the house, and everything in it was brand new. And now he's not living paycheck to paycheck because he goes, there's no lack. There's always abundance, there's the way we were programmed is like, work hard, I make all this money, and the money goes out the door, right? But if you put the money out the door happily and freely and knowing it's going to go out there and bring you more back, and that's what's going to happen. And then opportunities arose for this guy, not just extra time at work. He started becoming like, he's like building things for people, and people started realizing he's a good carpenter, and then he started making things. And before you know it, now he's making a lot more money, and he's doing what he loves. That's all that matters in law of attraction, is that you do what you like, give thanks, like just be grateful and happy, because as I taught you in the casinos, if you become a pompous, like, I'm going to win the $50 million today because I am a god, right? Then you become a pompous, greedy bastard, and then you lose it all. And I've seen it. I've done it.
I've done it too. One too many times.
Right. Testify.
I plead the fifth.
But see how easy it is to lose. And he also talks about in his book how, do everything to benefit others. So you're not trying to race people. You're not trying to have competition or nothing. There's enough wealth and money in this universe, in this world, for us to manifest enough for everybody. There's enough abundance. There's enough everything in this universe, in this world, that there's more than enough for everybody, for everything. So did you think of something that you want? Something small. It doesn't have to be big. Just something small, something that you want to try to manifest. And then you're going to put it in your reality. And then the key that we hear everybody talking about in this kind of situation is like, you got to believe you're going to get it and you deserve it, because you have to believe that you deserve it, that you're going to get it. You can't put yourself down. That we all deserve what we want. We all deserve wealth. We all deserve whatever reality you want to create. And you deserve to get what you want to get. So I encourage you to try something small, nothing crazy and big, and then work your way up to something whatever you want. Because the moment, and we talked about this today a little bit on the way in, how I stopped looking for a wife, right? Because growing up in the church I grew up, like, you got to get married, right? You don't want to be 25 and not married because then you're useless. Everybody look at you and be like, what's wrong with that one? But I gave up and stopped looking. And then it was like, hey, have you met this girl? And I'm like, no, I haven't. You know, she's cute, but not my type. I'm not looking, you know. I'm better than chasing these days. And now I've been married to her for 17 years, going on 18 years this October. But my whole life was chasing women to try to find a wife. And they were running away. I don't blame them. I used to chase money all the time. It ran away. I don't blame it. I sit here going, Jonathan, and tell me if I've ever said this to you, because I swear I have. You can say yes or no. Where I was like, Jonathan, how come the universe just doesn't give me all this money because I'm going to do good with it in the world? Have I said that to you before?
Yes, you have.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you why I don't get money.
Because you're chasing it.
Besides chasing it,
you're being greedy.
Not being greedy. What do you think it is?
You're overthinking?
I'm actually putting lack, because I'm saying, give me all this money that's hard to reach, lack, so I can give it away to people because I want to be a good person. And the universe is like, bullshit. I need to admit, and I admit, I deserve all the money that I can manifest and earn. You deserve all the money you can manifest and earn. You deserve it all and then some. The universe, or God, if you want to call it, if you're Christian, wants everybody to be happy, does not want anybody to be lack. And that's one thing that bothers me in like certain book, like the Bible and other books that I've read, how it always talks about the rich man being like a pompous asshole. Because it says, like, you know, Jesus came across the rich man and told the rich man says, I'll do anything and follow you, right? And then Jesus says, give all your money away to the poor and come with nothing and follow me, and then you'll find eternal salvation. Something along those lines, right? And the rich kid's like, no, I'll do anything but that. Peace out, right? And I'm telling you, that was something I had to unprogram myself from, because that right there is showing you subconsciously rich people are pompous assholes. And just like in the movies, all these rich people are always psycho killers and just stupid, crazy, and they're paying people to do all this random crap because they're so rich and they're bad. Don't get me wrong. There might be some rich people out there that are pompous assholes, but they're going to get what they deserve, because karma and what goes around comes around tenfold. And the people that are being rich because they want to be rich, because they deserve to be rich, and do good with their money at the same time, by all means. So here's another thing I learned, Jonathan. Do you know all these charities are actually not good for the thing that they're trying to prevent? So all these charities to prevent homelessness are not good. All these charities to stop whatever. Please give us money to help this, right? Because it states in the law of attraction, they're putting the universe lack. So they'll never make enough money to help those people, right? Enough. They might help a few people, don't get me wrong. Charities are good. I might sound like an asshole right now, but charities are good. They're helping people. But their whole business is keeping people down. So if it's helping homeless people, they need homeless people. If there's no homeless people, they're all out of a job. And they're not going to be making money anymore to help homeless people. And don't get me wrong, it's all good intentions. But they'll never be rich and never get rid of the problem, because they're putting lack and they're putting out that they'll never get rid of the problem. So you won't. Law of Attraction 101. So why is it so easy for everybody, me included, even for you, John, to be negative and create negative? Why do you think it's so easy to be negative and create negativity? He's looking at me while I'm drinking my water going, I don't know. You keep on talking, you dork. Well, because we're programmed to. I might sound like a crazy person speaking here, but think about it. Everybody close your eyes. You closing your eyes, John? Okay, now I'll close mine. So everybody listening, close your eyes. Unless you're driving, please don't close your eyes, you dumbass. Just drive. But think of all the things you've seen in the world that's positive, that's getting a lot of traction. You count it on one hand, maybe two. Now think of all the things you see and hear that are negative. Every day, a million times a day. Because we're programmed to believe that we're not good enough. We're programmed to believe, by whatever you want to call it, I don't care if you want to call it the elites, Hollywood, or whatever, just the world the way it is. Media, I don't care what you want to call it. Government, Justin Trudeau. I mean, what?
Who did you say?
Nah, I didn't say nothing. I don't talk politics on here. But whatever you want to believe, but I promise you, it's easy for us to be negative and to attract negativity because that's what's shown around us.
Programmed. It's what's programmed.
It's the programming. And, you know, I might sound like a lunatic, but watch some older TV shows. Know what you know now. See what we went... Oops, didn't want to burp in there. See what we went through in the last few years and everything we're seeing now that we thought was impossible to be happening and all this crap. And watch old, like, you know, TV shows 10, 15 years ago. You'll see the programming leading up to today. Tell me I'm wrong. But all my faithful listeners out there who are like, but Mike, the reason why you're seeing that, because you stated multiple times on these podcasts, Mike, you are creating that in your reality. So therefore, that's why it's here. Touché. You are correct. We are all creators. I create my reality, and John, you create your reality. My wife creates her own reality, and everybody in the world creates their reality and their beliefs. And we tend to look at people and go, hey, you don't believe everything I believe in? Well, you're a douchebag. And I tend to be like, hey, you got your own belief system? Cool. This, you know, I don't care. You're still my buddy. Like, we could be friends. Or you're really nut job. You should move on. What?
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Not you. You're not a nut job. But some people are.
It can be.
I say I love everybody, but it's hard. Because some people, I just can't love stupid. I love you. You're not stupid.
I was going to say I am stupid. But, you
See,
know.
he's putting himself down, but you can't put yourself down because if you say that, so right there, ladies and gentlemen,
Prime example coming right up.
Prime example. He says a lot. I'm stupid. I'm this. I'm that. And therefore, he will be perceived as that from himself and everybody around him. Do people see me as if I'm stupid? Maybe. Do people see me as I'm crazy because I don't believe what they believe? Most likely. Everybody is programmed for that. Do you think I'm crazy in all the things I'm believing? I even have friends that are like, oh yeah, you're going to manifest your 2.5 million. No, you should have a backup plan in case that doesn't happen so you can do the stuff you want to do still, but still get line of credit and this and that. And I'm like, nope. I don't need to. I have faith. I believe.
You have faith, but about 2 months you'll change your mind about halfway through too.
No, this is going to happen. But
I believe this one.
But the question is, what am I going to do with it? When? This summer.
This summer?
Yep, soon.
What day, what month?
See, that's the thing. My wife kind of chastised me and yelled at me a little. Not yelled, but just like, Mike.
Wait, she put a chastity belt on you?
No. Chastised me. That means scolded me, told me off. Says, Mike, you say all this stuff about not chasing, not doing this, don't plan the outcome, don't force the outcome. And here you are trying to force the outcome on this, right? So it's true. I'm learning. My wife teaches me some stuff. She says, hey, you should listen to this podcast. His name's Mike. It's called Life Changers. He speaks some good stuff. But no, it's yeah. I have an idea how I want it to happen, but it's up to the universe to decide, or up to God, or whatever you want to call the supreme being. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever works for you, it's all good. And hey, if some people are offended about what I'm saying, that knows my way or the highway, that's your problem. Deal with it. You don't need to listen to my podcast. Move along.
Move along. We're kicking you out of here.
But thanks for the listens. I need the upvote, so share it with all the people that will hate me. That'll be great. So they can all listen to me too.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out either.
Too hard.
Too far?
No. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, not everybody's going to agree with what I'm saying. And I'm trying to be open, like, and just stating my experiences and what's working for me. Everybody has their own reality. I've been there where I thought I was the best and I knew everything that has to be known. And I felt bad for everybody in the world because I'm better than all of them, blah, blah, blah. But we're all in this together. No one's better than nobody else. There's no one beneath you. There's no one above you. We're all equals. I'm not better than you because I own my own company. I'm not better than you because I got a podcast where I sit in my little closet here and pretend I'm cool. Please make me cool. Right?
I'm not better than you because I bought a new truck in about a couple more months.
Exactly. I'm going to have truck envy. But mine's diesel still, so. Or whatever. Yeah, what is he? Tim Allen. But no, it's a fact that we're all on equal playing fields. It's not a competition. Why do we put people down when we can help people come up, if we look at it that way, where there's people, but everybody's in their own experience, their own reality that they created. They like it or not. Like I mentioned the last episode, I have some friends that are always like, I'm poor and I can't afford to do this, and I can't. They're always going to be poor, and they're always not going to be able to afford it, even if they make $1,000 an hour. And people are like, oh, you're stupid for saying that. No, because they got so much slack, and I've experienced it where I've made a lot of money, but I put so much slack in the world, I don't even know where it went. I didn't get robbed or nothing. It's just bills, and the universe made sure it took it away, or God made sure it punished me, or whatever it is, right? I'm not sure what it is, but I probably put so much lack out there that it's like, gone. Gone with the wind, as they say.
Is that a feather I see floating in there?
Yes. But yeah, it's that crazy. And I used to be like, oh no, I used to be that person. Oh no, if I made that kind of money, I would be rich. And I could count on all my fingers and other toes and everything, people I know that make a crap ton of money, that live in lack, so they think they are poor. I knew a lady, if her bank account had less than $500,000 in it, she was poor. And at that time, I'm like, just started my company, and I'm like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. You think you're poor if you have less than $500,000 in the bank? Especially back then, like over 20 years ago. That's probably like $3 million today, $4 million today, right? $5 million. Today's money. Inflation sucks. Just keeps on going up.
Total.
It's true, though, eh?
True dating.
Anyway, it is true that inflation sucks.
It does, but you know.
Don't focus on it. Don't make that part of your reality. That's what's hard, is you got all the negative out there. You got everybody saying, hey, did you hear about the new carbon tax up here in Canada? It's going up 30%. You're going to be paying 30% more at the pump, 30% more for your coffee, 30% more for this, 30%. Yeah, shut up.
I know, Mike. You don't have to keep repeating it.
Right? But everybody talking about, oh, it's so hard. Oh, big recession. Yeah, no one's making money. But here's the kicker. If everybody's so fucking poor right now, why do I look around and see people with everyday homes, my neighbors and stuff, building huge garages, building add-ons to their homes, building. So there's a group of people that have lack, and there's a group of people that have money. And I know what you're saying, people, right now. If you're a first-time listener going, duh, the rich get rich and the poor stay poor, Mikey. No, because I'm doing my own thing, and I'm not. I don't think I'm rich, but I try to act rich, so I can be rich. Law of attraction, but I'm putting out lack in my heart somehow. Because sometimes I think about it, I'm like, "Oh, no, that seems far fetched. That seems far to make $2.5 million in my pocket." Because there's people out there that say, "Oh, I could do that in a month. I made that yesterday," right? Because once you do it, it's no longer an obstacle anymore. So why not make it not an obstacle and then just do it? Now that is the message I'm trying to push out to the world. That the only person stopping you from being smart, because you say you're stupid, from being whatever you want is you.
I was going to say it's myself.
As long as you realize that, you're halfway there, buddy.
Am I?
There's hope for John yet, people. There's hope.
It's been 8 years, Mike. I don't know about that one.
Some people take longer than others. Hey, when I heard about the law of attraction back when I was 18 years old, I was like, these people are nuts. Making vision boards and stuff, and they're just going to make things appear. What are they, stupid? But as I got older and wiser, I'd understand the part they left out in those books or movies called The Secret. I think they did it on purpose to make it look stupid, I guess. The people that filmed it, I don't know. But you put it out in the universe, you start everything with a thought, and then it's going to come your way. But you have to take the action to get it. Just like in religion, faith without works, so faith without doing anything, is dead. You can't be like, I have faith, I'm going to make my $2.5 million, and God's going to give it to me. And you just sit on your butt, do nothing. You didn't even buy a lottery ticket, didn't you? No. See? How are you going to get your money if you don't buy a damn ticket? You got to meet him halfway.
I got to work for the devil.
No.
Not for the devil, you know what I mean? God.
Yes. No, but you can't just sit there and expect everything to happen. And that's what they made it look like in that TV show or in that book called The Secret, is where people just make these vision boards and then everything just happened. No, but they worked. Just like me, I had this idea that I started with a shipping company in 2019, and I saw it, felt it. I was like, oh, this is a vision. I received knowledge from my higher self or God or whatever you want to call it. And I executed the plan that I saw I had to do. And during the pandemic, where people were like, ooh, everybody's hurting for money and stuff all over the world, I couldn't predict what was going to happen in 2020 from 2019. And yet I was busier than ever. And I was hiring people that needed jobs, that needed money, and hooked them up. And there everybody was taken care of. I helped take care of a few families. I'm not saying it to be like, hey, look at me, I'm better than everybody. No, it's the universe provided for me and everybody around me. And that's the feelings and the understanding I got to get more often. Is like, yes, the universe will provide. I got to take the action to do it. I can't just be like, oh, yeah, I thought I made millions of dollars, John. Then you'd be like, well, why are you sitting in the street begging for money, Mike? And I'll be like, well, I didn't do nothing about it. I saw how I was going to make it, but I didn't do it. So how can you expect to have anything that you want if the universe provides a way for you to get it and you don't take it? So, back to making you a believer. I'm not making him. I cannot do that. Forcing anybody to believe anything or forcing people to do whatever for, you cannot force other people's wills through law of attraction. It doesn't work that way. But you can say this is like, I did, right, when I was younger. I'm like, I want to find the true love. So I stopped chasing it. I give up. And I was going to move out west to Alberta. And then true love came knocking on my door. And it wasn't what I expected. But I went with it. And things you probably, I don't know if me and my wife ever talked to you about it, because everybody tell us your story. Tell us how you met. And I'm like, yeah, we met this way, and I thought she was annoying. And she thought I was like a player, pompous douchebag. Right? But no, it's not like what I pictured when I was younger, what I was going to have. I thought I'd be millionaire, have, whatever type looking wife and have this, whatever. It's better, right? It's better now. But if I say this is all I want, boom, boom, I don't care what the universe wants, I don't know. I might not be in a happy relationship. And I said it a lot too, because I was like, back then, like, when I was younger, some girl hold my hand. I'm like, she loves me. I'm going to marry her. She held my hand.
Been there, done that.
Right? And that's the way it is for every person, I assume. I don't know. Everybody I talk to anyways has similar experience.
Yes.
But the one thing is, like, I was with my wife now, but back then I was like, no, like, there's something different. There's something special. And I, to this day, truly believe, and, you know, back then when I was in religion, it was divine by God. But I swear, like, it's divine by the universe, God, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever supreme beings out there, whatever. Maybe my higher self or her higher self arranged everything because things just clicked and I was showing things and boom, like, it just happened. I was like, okay, I know what path I need to take. I'm taking this path. Stop me if it's wrong. And that's the mentality we got to have in life. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be loved, and everybody deserves to be rich, and everybody deserves to be loved. But you have to love yourself first. And that's one thing. Like for me, I'm not going to lose weight or be fit like I used to if I don't love myself first. And then the universe will provide a way where I'm going to be busier and maybe build myself a home gym in this warehouse. I don't know. Stuff like that.
You've talked about that for a couple of years now, and you haven't done it yet.
No, see.
What's the holdup?
I can talk about anything I want, but if I don't put action to it, it's dead. So I could talk about this 2.5 million that I'm trying to manifest, but if the opportunities come and I do nothing about it, it's dead.
Bye-bye. Adios.
Peace out. Hasta luego. Sayonara.
Don't let the door hit you.
You like that one, eh?
I do like that one.
So, do you think after our 46 minutes and 40 seconds of talking, or me talking.
More so you talking.
Yeah, well, you know, even in real life, we don't talk much.
No, not really.
See, which is good. You're a listener. I hope you absorb everything you look at and you see and stuff. But is there anything? Are you going to take the challenge that me and all my listeners here at Life Changers are giving you to find something small? Try to manifest something to see what I'm talking about, if it's just BS or if there's something to it. Because how would you feel if one day you realize, holy crap, everything you've ever said, Mike, like I clicked in now. And I'm not forcing you. You could just look at me and be like, I don't care. This is your thing. You manifest away. I'm going to live my reality. Peace out. That's cool. We're still buddies. I don't care.
You sure?
Yes.
I see those eyes.
It's the lights.
Who turned the lights out on you?
But if you want, and if you want to see for yourself, don't trust me. Don't take my word for it. I encourage all my listeners, first-time listeners, long-time listeners who are listening going, this is interesting, but not real to me. It will never be real to you unless you go, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to create nothing into something. Because, yes, what Mike just said, how everything in this damn world and universe is made from nothing. First, it was a thought. I need something to write on. Then they created paper. I need a computer. It'll be cool if I could do this. It was a thought. They made it a reality. It's not easy, but it's worthwhile. And once you figure it out, how you could turn anything into physical in this world, all with a thought, then anything you want is yours. But you got to remember, like I say a few times, I do it in grace and happiness and love for all, that I want to be able to benefit all people, that I want people to look at me and go, you know what? Yeah, Mike did manifest that. Like, I believe he did, because look at everything he said he was going to do with that. He did it. Or I feel that there's something different about Mike. You know, I feel the energy's coming off him, and everything he said he's doing, he's done it. So maybe there's something here, and I want people around me to be successful too. That's all I want. Anybody I come into contact with, I want people to be successful. If anybody listening is interested, I would like to do a study on you, in the sense of I want to practice something, because I want to launch being like a life coach or a motivational speaker for people and help motivation for people. That if you want to start a company, if you need just motivation or whatever, I have many years of experience motivating and talking to people. And if you're ready to jump aboard, send me an email. I'm going to take 5 people and I'm going to work with them one-on-one as a life coach and then motivational coach to help you knock this out of the park. If people are interested and are willing to do the work. You can write me at lifechangersmike@gmail.com. That's lifechangersmike, all one word, @gmail.com. So,
say that a little louder for the people in the back there, Mike.
okay, lifechangersmike@gmail.com. Is that loud enough?
I think so.
Because I want to prove the concept, get some testimonials, and maybe see where the universe takes it from there. But I feel like that's the next step for Life Changers, Mike.
I'll take the next step with you, Mike.
Yes, you're taking the next step? You're going to come to my shows if I do live events?
If you invite me, yeah.
Don't be a downer. Okay.
Try not to put me in the spot, that's all.
I try not to. I told you can talk if you want. You don't have to if you don't want. We're in a private location.
We're all good.
We're all hanging out with my little A&W teddy bear on the desk.
He's very cute.
Yeah, I like A&W. I haven't been there much. I go to McDonald's more. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I
was going to say, you've been cheating on McDonald's and A&W. I've seen a Harvey's bag out there. But...
Yeah, I like Harvey's. I worked at Harvey's when I was younger.
And I thought it was McDonald's.
No, I worked at Harvey's. See, here's the funny part. I worked at Harvey's. I was the manager, and I was dating the manager of the girl at McDonald's when I was younger.
That's where this McDonald's thing comes
from. And she has the same name I have in French, but in English.
Michelle.
Yeah. Her name's Michelle. My name is Mike. And I thought it was funny. But anyways, and she had a car. She broke up with me because I was using her for her car.
That's a little harsh.
We weren't exclusive. We just like dating and hanging out. And she worked the same hours I worked and got a ride. Anyways, I digress. Anywho's, back to the... What's that?
Back to reality here, Mike.
Back to living in the moment, not living in the past like we talked about yesterday. Yes, you can remember the past. You can reminisce about the past and bring up good feelings about the past. But just remember, your body doesn't know the difference. If you're bringing up sad things about the past, you're going to have the same situations. We talked about this many times in my podcast where somebody's like, I got into a car accident, and they talk about it, and their body is reacting as if they got into the car accident again, like it's new, right? Let's practice living in the moment. Let's practice living love and joy and experiences and just love life and love everything that's happening. And if you guys can do that, you'll have a happier day and a better day. And if you're like, oh, no, somebody already cut me off in traffic today, Mike, while I was listening to you, and he gave me the bird, and I'm going to flip him the bird, and I'm going to have a crappy day. Well, you can choose to let that happen and be a crappy day, or you can turn it around and make it a good day. I leave that up to you. Just remember, you are loved. You are important. You deserve everything you want. Rich, love, happiness, anything. I encourage you to listen to my podcast, to see what works for you. I encourage everybody to do the test, find something small that they want to manifest and create into reality and try it out. And let me know. Send me an email. We'll talk about it in the comments and stuff. I'll talk about it on the podcast with people, and we'll share everybody's experience. And maybe I'll bring some guests on. If you have a good experience, a good story to tell, and you want to come on the show, we can arrange it. So anything you want to say to the listeners? That's good.
Good as in what?
Happy-go-lucky. Kuna Matata. That's my motto.
Kuna Matata or forgive to forget?
That's his motto. Anyways, once again, thank you very much for coming to the studio, John. We appreciate you. Hope you had fun. Hope the listeners enjoyed the show. And once again, this is Mike with Life Changers. And we love everybody, and I love you, and you're important too. Thank you very much, and have a great day.